EA Sports. It's in the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know when Mace, Potts, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, the head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credential. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter rock. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space out your mind. But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years, so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. Relieving the kings of all crowns. Are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The folks here in Cleveland, even though all the down years, have never stopped supporting their hometown guys, and we got evidence of that a moment ago as the Browns made their entrance. They are ready to do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Here's the former Sooner, Austin Seibert, to get this one started. And off we go from Cleveland. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
Sammy! Slam! Shoot!
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He'll get 15 and a Saints first down.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
Brees now. Looking long for Thomas. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a second and 10. A first carry now. This is Alvin Kamara. The second down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Now Brees on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The D-tackle Sheldon Richardson came barreling in for the sack.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. First carry for Nick Chubb. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 33-yard line.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. Mayfield. He's got his man. That's Landry. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
2 first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. A run for Nick Chubb. And he's going to take this across the 50 and into Saints territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
2nd and 5 now. Mayfield. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. To throw, Mayfield. And he's got the hook up to Landry. That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You know, you were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
The running game's played a huge part in getting him down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
They'll run with Chubb. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The lone man in the backfield here is Chubb on 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So can this New Orleans defense stand tall again? 3rd and goal. Mayfield now. And that is incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Austin Seibert for the Browns field goal.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The fullback comes through with a big play there.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Breeze. He'll let it fly in the direction again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. This would have been a 54-yard boot had they tried a field goal, but they will not try a field goal. They're going for it. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
Well, they deemed it 4-down territory, and they got 4 yards to pick up the first. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
Rush in. Kill.
Breeze to throw again. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
95-56. Okay, just like that.
Again, it's Breeze. He wants it all for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down.
This defense not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
And it's no good. Lutz pulled it, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little, and when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're
trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
He'll let it fly in the direction again. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. From the gun, it's Breeze. Kamara's got the first down and then some. And all the way down to the 25-yard line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Breeze. That's to his running back. It's Alvin Kamara. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. A first opportunity upcoming in the red zone for the Saints. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Now Breeze again. Forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
A gain of 5 brings up 2nd and 5.
Ready? You ready?
Throwing again on 2nd down. Breeze. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara in the final seconds of the first half. And the Saints have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
So we've reached intermission here in a low-scoring game. 7-3 is our score. As we are off to Orlando now to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
Hey, check. Alert flare. Real. Alert 3. Watch twist.
They run it again with Chubb. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Mike 54.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Officially just 27 yards there on the punt. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
And how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Breeze to throw on 3rd and 1. Open man is Michael Thomas. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. 1st down.
But give the defensive guys a little bit of credit. They didn't let the deep ball beat them on that play, did they?
No, the drag, that guy can be your safety valve. We saw it right there.
Yeah, and it picked up a 1st down for them, too.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Kamara. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. They follow up the 1st down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. Terrence Mitchell right there on the coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And Lutz's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
The Browns drive about to get started. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey, echo.
Mayfield to throw it. He's got a man wide open. It's Landry. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Throwing. Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Jordan able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Mayfield, and he completes it to Hunt. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Alert, 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 alert.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. Check the outs.
Hey, alert 33.
Check the backer.
One touch.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield flushed out right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. P.J. Williams with a pick. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. He violated a big-time no-no in throwing that pick, rolling right, throwing across his body.
And you know that your dad taught you that in the backyard when you were a tyke. Don't do it. The problem, every now and then you get away with it. This time, not the case.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. In for the sack, Myles Garrett. And they weren't in zone coverage, they were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
He'll let it fly in the direction again, and that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete to his tight end, Seals Jones. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Mayfield now looking to throw on 1st down. That one is caught by Hunt. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw again on 2nd down. Mayfield, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Onyemata in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. Gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And this play comes to a hold at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on fourth down.
All day, every day, any day.
Now Mayfield on fourth down. To the right side, and he's got Landry complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And it would appear that the Saints are going to win this football game. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Gets through, and now an opening. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation, probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds and keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They run it again with Kamara. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts as it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
A 10th carry for Kamara. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is taken at the 15. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
At their own 27-yard line.
The Browns drive about to get started. They're down here in a one-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
Well, they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack. He'll look to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Demario Davis.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
95-56, 95-56. Fellas, let's set a tone. Mike 22, he's coming. 22's coming. Mike. Don't get nervous. Ready, tackle.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It was Denzel Ward in from his corner spot there to take him down for the loss. Well, Charles, the old saying, the old cliche, if you will, points at a premium. That certainly applied here, didn't it?
And that almost like opened up a time capsule, didn't it? Old school football, low scoring, close game. What a way to finish it up.
You loved it, didn't you? You
loved
the defenses.
I certainly did. Brought back the images of the game of old.